identity. And now, as a lot of context thinking is happening when we're dealing with city identity, I want to ask Egle and give the floor to Oslo, where she is now with another project, and to tell us about city identity and what's happening there. Egle, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for passing me the ball. And I'm Egle, I'm a senior researcher at the Critical Agency, and I will be inviting you to reflect on the meaning of the stakeholder engagement in the context of developing city identities. And we'll be exploring the question together, does engaging actually matter? And I will be inviting you to this reflection by presenting a case study, the work that we've been doing, that we did in 2021. And I'm talking about the cooperation of the narrative and of the visual identity of Klaipėda city that Dominikas already mentioned shortly. So the intention actually was to give the presentation from Klaipėda, but I found myself in the business trip in Oslo. And it turned out not to be a coincidence because actually, you see, this is Klaipėda, and Oslo is a great inspiration for developing city identities because it was developed through a really wide scope stakeholder engagement program, which included various meetings, workshops, reflections, analysis, and research that permitted Oslo to develop one of the greatest examples of city brand, city strategy, and city strategy integrated with the actual visual identity of the city. But just to start with, so what defines a city identity and what is city identity? So city identity is basically expressing different particularities, exceptional features of the city that distinguishes it, like in the context of other cities and other contexts. And what is important about the city identity is that it reflects city's culture. It impacts city's culture intended as many different features of city life, like city traditions, social factors, all the things that we call culture of the city, and at the same time, city's culture impacts city identity. At the same time, the city's identity reflects the image of the city and impacts the city image. And when we develop city identities, we really pay attention to the interrelations of these three dimensions. And so how do we approach this kind of complexity that sounds maybe a bit complex and difficult? So we have a methodology that combines different four perspectives. So the cultural one, environmental, economic, and social perspective. And what we call the city narrative or the city story is basically the essence of these three dimensions. And the city narrative basically becomes a base, informs and inspires city strategy and city's visual identity. And so what actually defines a city? And we believe that it's even more important to ask ourselves who defines the city? Who defines the city? And by asking who defines the city, I would like to stress that our company really believes that engaging stakeholders and developing city identities is extremely important. And by stakeholders, I intend citizens, municipality, organizations, all the different actors that act every day in the city and shape its everyday life, basically. So to begin with, we started a project of Klaipėda, of developing Klaipėda's narrative and city identity, not from scratch. We found ourselves in the situation when Klaipėda city municipality already tried to introduce city logo and city identity without first engaging citizens. And as you can see in the slide, so the situation was quite complex, and the society didn't greet the logo and the solutions that well. But the situation, these complaints weren't unheard, and Klaipėda city municipality took off to another journey, inviting us to develop the city identity that would actually reflect its citizens' perspective, its potential, and its context, as Jean-Marc and Dominique has mentioned. Yes, so what we did, we took off with all the team to what we could call a healing journey, because we found ourselves, in between basically distrustful citizens and, a bit tense, public administration context, hoping for the best. And we started with a context and strategic document analysis to first understand the context of the Klaipėda city as well as possible. And then we created an information platform. We created Klaipėda that included, basically that became a touch point between the citizens and other city stakeholders, and also the creative team, where we provided the most essential information about the engagement process, about the news regarding the project, and the possibility to participate. And this touch point was very, very important throughout all the process of engagement. What we also did, we did a citizen survey, and more than 1,200 participants took part in the citizen survey, and we got a lot of wonderful insights about the city's identity, about the 4 dimensions that we mentioned: cultural, economical, social, and environmental perspective from the citizens' perspective. What followed, a series of online workshops where more than 50 participants from culture, education, sport, tourism, and business sectors participated, as well local communities were involved in the process. So these workshops, since it was like post-COVID context, took place online, but we tried to engage, create all the accessibility possibilities to the stakeholders to participate in a comfortable way and to express their vision of the city. And the topics that we treated in the engagement process, both in the survey and in the workshops, were discussing city symbols, already mentioned layers of the city: social, economic, environmental, cultural. And at the same time, we were focusing not only the present, but also took into account past and future perspectives of the city. And we had a bunch of wonderful insights, really, really a lot of information. And what we came up with as a city narrative, we could even phrase it in one short phrase. So basically, by taming a regenerative energy of the sea, Klaipėda and its people breathe in a sustainable rhythm. Of course, the whole narrative was a lot more complex, a lot more elaborated and long, but we could sum up it in one exact phrase, that then became a starting point for developing city's visual identity. And I would like to share actually the final result, a video presenting the outcome of this whole engagement journey that we had together with the citizens of Klaipėda. And we could see the video, it's possible. And the conclusion of the journey was very, I would say, like very positive feedback that we got from very different stakeholders of the project and citizens of Klaipėda. So basically, they said it's the highest level work. Marketing professionals said that it will work and it will become part of the city's culture. And as Dominikas mentioned, Klaipėda's visual identity won the gold at the European Design Awards. But I would like really, curious to ask you, like all the participants that are watching this event, how do you think, does engaging matter? And now I would like to switch to a platform, Slido, that we will see in the screen. And you'll be able to scan now, actually, you'll be able to scan a QR code and to answer really sincerely. You might not agree with us, but I'm really curious to see your point of view. Do you think that engaging matters? You can scan the QR code or go to slide.com and put the code that you're seeing in the screen and just click yes, no, or maybe you don't know. It's all fine. Just curious to see your perspective. Let's see if you're managing to connect. Oh, we have one answer, and it's very positive. I'm happy to see that. Who else would like to express their view? That looks quite good. Maybe somebody doesn't agree with the one answer. Let's just wait for a couple of moments and move on with the presentations. Okay, so if there's no other answers, we're quite happy about the result. Somebody just completely agrees with us, and we're really happy about that. Thank you. I'm passing my words to my colleagues.
Yeah, so as you saw there, like only one answer, as far as I saw, it was 12 people who said that the only answer that matters is engaging. So engaging matters. My question, Egle, to you is, as you have experienced the whole process of Klaipėda city identity, the research part, and then how it manifested to the designing the visual language, were you surprised when there were not only one, but like multiple international awards for this case? And so, yeah, if yes, why? If no, why?
Were I surprised? I'm not sure, but I was really happy about that. And why I was really happy, because like awards commission and not only awards commission, like citizens in very particular, seem to understood the value of engagement in the whole process. So not only the final result, but also the value. So knowing, all the backstage process, all the meetings and encounters with the different stakeholders of the city, I was not surprised, but I was really, really happy about the result. Yes.